Hello, hello. Good day, good day, good day. How are you? Hillary, how are
Hello.
you? Marketing Moms Trinidad is doing another week on time management and productivity. And have you had a productive week last week, Hillary?
Yes.
Answer?
Yeah, yes, I
Yes.
have. Yes, I have. No, I had to pause because today hasn't been as productive as I would have liked. But
No, no,
the
no,
week
no, no. You
last
have to
week
put
was
it a
very
different way.
productive.
Today has been challenging. None hasn't been productive. It has been challenging
Challenging.
because every time you try to get something done, you run into another challenge. So that is actually normal life, all right? Because even though you have your plan all scheduled out, life is full of
Life.
surprises.
Yes, life is life.
Yes, life is life.
Yes, yes.
So
So
I'm
today's topic.
thinking for a quick recap of our time management, we're into our third week of doing time management and productivity and using, how you call it, our reference as our two books, Compound Effect and Essentialism. And,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that if it wasn't for these two books that we read, I don't know where productivity would be and what we would do when we run into mornings like this morning. No, mind you,
Very
I didn't
true.
have any challenges because I was just staying away from technology, okay? Whereas, so my challenges tend to be otherwise.
Yeah. So
So,
when you're
yes, go
faced, and I
ahead.
think when you're faced with challenges that are things that you could solve, right? And this is something where sometimes you have challenges where you need to recognize that it's the Grand Canyon and you go around it, or you need to recognize that it's a molehill that you need to figure out how to just step over it. All right. And well, this morning I didn't really have I had what appeared to be a Grand Canyon, but if I when I once I stepped back and looked at it, I was like, oh, it's just a bump in the road. So, um, you have to sometimes pull yourself out of the problem that you're facing right now so that you don't waste too much time trying to figure it out. Make a decision very quickly. Is this something that I could deal with now, or is it something I can do later? And very quickly, just by looking back, pulling myself back, I was able to find a quick fix, and you would notice that that problem has
Well,
already
not
been
so much a
solved.
quick fix, but the best solution with any time frame that you have is not a better way of
Well, because
solution.
it's a solution. It's not what you had envisioned as the solution, but it actually,
Exactly.
because it actually gets the same results. So for me, what I came up with, it actually got the same result that I was looking for, but without all the gigantic planning and all that stuff that I thought I had to do. And
Right.
all I had to do was step back for 2 minutes and take a breather, really look at what it is that I had in front of me and said, oh, I could do it this way. So
Very good.
I
Very
don't
good.
think I'd have been
And
able to do that before reading Essentialism.
very good. Excellent. Excellent. And that's the purpose of reading books and purpose of
Yeah.
reading the thought leaders in time management and productivity area in particular. And in particular, the reason why I like Darren Hardy is because he is in the sense that nothing he teaches is, or I mean, I'm sure your guy is as well, Greg McEwen. Nothing he teaches is something that he hasn't done. Okay, because and also because he's a success coach, he continues to teach people his formula, and so therefore gets it down to the fine tune of this is what you need to do. And it
Yes,
all depends.
exactly.
And from what you shared just now, your goal was to get a video up, a video training up. This is what you had to do this morning, right?
Yes, yes.
And you had a challenge in the sense that you thought it was corrected, and all you had to do this morning was to do some little editing, and you'll get it up. Correct?
Yes.
Excellent. And then, because the thing is, the goal, that is what you have to keep in mind. The goal is to get the video up. All right. Now, the goal is not necessarily to put all the 100% bells and whistles, okay, on the video that you are trying to get up. We just want to get it up, and you want to deliver it as best as possible. So with that
Right.
aim in mind, you went after doing it a different way. Correct?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. And that is what Greg McEwen and Darren Hardy teaches. You need to have your goal defined and redefined. Well, as I told Hillary before we started the recording, I told Hillary, well, you know, kind of like every week I'm catching myself redefining my goals, because, you know, it's so easy to go off track, you know, to get sidetracked and distracted and whatever. So it's necessary to define and redefine your goal. And the next thing that's going to keep you in production or at productivity level that you desire, because think of what Hillary said at the beginning. She said she didn't think that this morning was productive because she had to spend some time doing what she didn't plan on doing. So you feel non-productive. And that's what Darren Hardy talks about. He says, when you feel that you've been productive, you actually get better at producing. So it's important to be grateful for what you can do within the time that you get it done. Understand? So you have to make yourself remember, you know, it could have been worse. All right? I could have had no electricity this morning and therefore not get the project done. You know? That would be terrible. Okay?
Yes,
so, you know, we have to remind ourselves to be appreciative and grateful for the little blessings so that we could feel that, okay, all right, at least I got so and so done. And so therefore you get better at what it is, and you get better at producing faster, whatever work it is that you need to do. And then the mistake that we made on Saturday that caused this morning's redo of the video, hopefully we'll avoid that next time.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lessons learned. So
lessons learned. So goals are important, so that you know where you're going.
Where you're going, yeah, very important. Yep. So today we're talking about, you know, if you have a job, should that stop you from getting your business done? Isn't that
exactly?
You know,
don't look at the job as the big problem. The job is necessary, so that when you have the time or that 1 hour that you set aside to do the work, then that job, that time that you put towards the productivity of your home business, of your small business, of your side project that you are doing, it's actually going to be, you know, absolutely focused.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So can you tell us very quickly when, for those last 6 months of your job, because you had a job and you did have a baby at the time, right?
Yes, yes.
You're working 8 to 4, and in a sense that you can't really work before 8 o'clock because gotta get up, gotta take care of the child, gotta get to work, gotta put into consideration the traffic to get to work because you need to be there at 8 o'clock, otherwise you're gonna be in trouble. And then when you get home by 6 after dinner, so you're really talking what? Half an hour? 2 hours. You got 2 hours in. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I got 2 hours in because I made the decision that I would need to cover 2 hours. And one thing that, so two things that I do remember. For during the day, I would schedule things for social media purposes. But at night, that's when I would do a lot of my research and finding of material, writing of blogging, creating videos, if I was doing that. But how I got that 2 hours was, again, going back to the goal. I knew what my goal was, and I knew what I needed to do to get to that goal. And for those who don't know, Big Bang Theory and NCIS are on TV almost every night here in Trinidad. And you could spend a good 3 hours watching TV every night if you are, like myself, an avid fan of NCIS and Big Bang Theory. And I made the decision that I'm going to get my 2 hours from not watching any NCIS or Big Bang Theory. And that's how I pulled it out, you know. So, and it's amazing how when we sit down and we think about how much time we waste watching TV when we could be doing something else, right? And I was able to not only work on my business, but I was actually able to, I don't want to say multitask, but while I knew I was sitting down at my computer writing a blog and it was going to take me 45 minutes to an hour, I realized that, oh, I could put a load of laundry in and let that go while I'm writing. So making that decision for my business of claiming that 2 hours every night, it also helped me organize my household life as well in terms of chores that needed to get done. So it made even taking care of the baby a little easier. All right. So there are certain things that you could do.
And I think you got, I think you got some food in there too.
Yeah.
I think I remember you saying that you were actually cooking. So somehow,
yes,
in your tight schedule, you were able to
cook.
And before
I was
you
able to cook. Exactly. So it was 2 hours of me sitting down watching TV versus doing the things that I could have been doing in my home and for my business. So, and yes, you know, after I think by that time, we're talking the last 6 months, Olivia was staying up a little later, so my 2 hours was kind of pushing into the 10 o'clock time frame, you know, after 10, and then you have to get ready for bed and wind down and those type of things. So I'd be honest, there was a little bit of what I would consider sleep deprivation, you know, because I'm used to like 8-9 hours sleep, even though I'm watching 2 hours of TV. All right. But it was that little bit of a sacrifice to be able to put things in place, to put those building blocks. And it was only 6 months, right? And what I realized is that if I couldn't do this at 2 hours a day, then I'm not going to be able to figure out how to do it if I have a whole day. Because if I have a whole day, I may probably waste it. But if I know that in 2 hours, I can get 2 things done or 3 things done every day for 5 days straight, then, and I'm seeing the progress, even though it's steady as you go, as Darren Hardy talks about, you know, a little bit each day, and you build on that. And that was my journey. That was my process, you know, 2 hours every day, a little bit each day. And I wasn't looking to, you know, have 100 blog posts in 6 months. But what my goal was, every day I'd blog, all right? Once a week I'd create a video, or don't know how I can't remember if that actually came to fruition, but there were those small goals that every day during those 2 hours, there was something that I just had to do. Social media now, I used to pull the information at night and schedule it at night actually, so that the next day while I'm at work, I could spend time just going in twice a day then and actually just commenting. So yes, I'm working at the desk, I have a computer, and I'll just go in on social media really quickly and see if there's anybody who's commented or done anything, so that I can actually respond to them in a live format. But I didn't have to do the scheduling while I was at work. That's the difference.
Very good, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things that Darren Hardy taught in his Compound Effect book, as well as an interview I saw after, I forget who the guy he was interviewing, but he spoke about 3 ways that you can actually divide up your day in order to get the necessary work done. One of them was goals, and we kind of covered that before, is that the overall picture is that you have to have your goal in mind. And you have to have that as, what's his name, Brendan Bouchard talks about it. He says it has to be diamond clear what it is that you want in your life and what it is that you don't want in your life. So that's Brendan Bouchard. Now, Darren Hardy talks about you define your goal and you decide in your business what is the most important thing that I'm going to go after right now. Okay. And you do that in terms of projects, and you do that in terms of the people, business people, as well as the people in your life, your relationships, family, friends, spouse, etc. Okay. Now, in projects, he gave the example of this guy. Now, the interview I listened to was about a year plus ago, and I don't remember the guy but anyway, it's an important guy, a guy that does appearances all over the place. And he said that him and his team wanted this guy to come to an event that he was having, and they sent him an email asking him to make an appearance and offered him X amount of dollars, which was his normal price. And he replied and said, "No, thank you." And they sent him another email with a higher offer of a price, and then he sends back an email and says, "No, thank you." And then eventually Darren Hardy got on the phone and called him up and says, "What's going on? Why it is that you don't want to come and make an appearance at our event?" And he says, "Well, it's quite simple. It's because what you're asking me to present on is not on my table. It's not on my agenda right now. So I cannot come to your event." Because what it is he's saying is that his focus, his goal, his immediate goal was to get this project done in front of him. And if he went to the event that he was being invited to, it will take away his whatever, his energy, his focus, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needed to get this project done first. So in other words, no money would make him come to be, would sidetrack him, distract him from his project. Yeah. The other thing that Darren Hardy talks about is the people. He says people who you have to respond to, because I mean your email, all right? You have to treat your email with absolute respect, and it is a time, besides Facebook, it is a time destroyer. It eats up your time. So you have to go into your email, your inbox, with a purpose. I am going to open emails only people who I am waiting to get a response from, and I am only going to check out or email people who I need to do something with regards to my project that I need to get done. So therefore, the family and the whatever and the event next 2 weeks for the barbecue and the whatever is not going to be taken care of during that 2 hours or that 3 hours, sometimes 4, that you set aside to do your business.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And that's important, especially for us home moms, because we need to get back to the family.
Yes, I think that is those are 2 points also, that 2 examples that Greg McKeown also referred to. He spoke of himself personally as well when he was writing that book. And then I think it's chapter, we spoke about it last week, the how to say no gracefully. All right. All the ways of saying no. And he said that, you know, when he was writing his book, he had set aside 2 months to finish writing his book. And he basically set an autoresponder on his email saying, "I'm sorry, I can't speak with you now or get back to you. I'm focused on writing my book. You will get a response back from me on or after," and the date that he had set to finish. So that
finish his book.
So that he didn't even go into his email for those 2 months.
Right.
An autoresponder was set up, and everybody knows that they're not going to get a response from him for 2 months, right? So it's, I mean, and little things like that, you know, knowing how to do your focus. I love that example with the guy who, you know, they offered him more money, and he's just like, sorry. You know, it's like you really have to know your goal and your focus and what's important to you at that point in time, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I think we covered a lot in terms of being able to get your work done within that time frame. Now, my ideal time frame would be 4 hours, and I am still working towards it. It is a work in progress because, like normal people, I still do get distracted, even though I have read Compound Effect and I love Darren Hardy's examples. And ever since you told me about making sure to say no, from what Greg McEwen said, I think you mentioned it either last week or the week before. Both times, I have been actually telling myself, I need to say no, I need to say no, I need to say no, you know? So, yeah, it works. It really works, but it is a work in progress because I believe the psychologists talk about for every new habit that you want to implement, it takes 1 month for every year that you used to do it. So if you want to knock off 30 years of habit of a habit that you've been doing, I mean, 30 months, right? So you got to be realistic with yourself. And so therefore it comes back to like what we talked about earlier, appreciating your progress. So therefore you can feel as if, okay, I am going towards my goal. I am being productive. Yes, I'm a little slower than I expected, but I am using my time. I have X amount of hours, and I'm going to get so much done today.
Right. Yeah.
And so therefore, always be appreciative of your progress. Whatever.
Don't beat yourself up if you didn't get the 20 things on your list done today, when you knew when you made up that list that you'd probably only get 2 done. That's something. Yes, we reach for stretch goals, right? But always make sure that it's realistic and be thankful for what is done.
Yes.
Yes. I think another tip too, I can't remember if this came out of Greg's book or if it was another book, but when you're making your list of things to do, put the hardest thing down first. All right, a daily list. You want to make sure that you get what's going to be the hardest thing for you to complete. Get that out of the way, because then once it's done, it kind of lifts you up and says, yes, I got it done. Now I could go after the world.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The feeling is important. So, I mean, some of us need to feel great about ourselves in order to keep going. I mean, it's human nature.
Yes.
So we need to congratulate ourselves.
Sometimes, yes.
And that's why Hilary and I work together so well, because we make sure and congratulate each other all the time so that we keep moving forward.
Yep. All right.
So I think our time management and productivity talk today, how to make sure you get your work done, your side project done, your home business project done within the 2 to 4 set aside for it each day. Yes?
Yep. Yeah.
That's
and
my
that's the timer. All right. So you're going to wrap us up, Bernie?
Well, I kind of just did.
Okay, and we want to thank our viewers for viewing today. You can catch us on this channel, same time, same place, Marketing Moms Trinidad. And if you missed if you're watching this as a replay, well then you knew it. Yes. You can always catch the replay when we post it on our channel.
On our channels.
Marketing Moms Trinidad. Bye all.
Marketing Moms Trinidad. Signing out for April 20th.
Yeah.
2015. Excellent. Bye.